folks. The bastards finally did it. They finally made us have to care about Charlie fucking Kirk.
Good lord.
See, as I said yesterday, like, I didn't even really like the guy, and then all of a sudden they fucking did this shit.
Yes.
I was just
It's
saying,
like-
I didn't like it too, but he wasn't hurting anybody, you know.
Yeah,
It's like, he was such a...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, William, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, he was the most milquetoast person around. It was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, he was the definition of let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he loved his country. I mean, he thought he was doing right by it.
Well, and he was. I mean, to be completely frank, he was. And the mission that he was on was the good mission.
Well, he was trying to find everybody. He was trying to get everyone to find a common ground and faith to have a discussion. And the whole deal was finding a common ground.
Yep.
So, yesterday, September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at an event at the Utah Valley University. And the whole fucking situation has spun up a biblical fucking response. Let me just put it to you this way. When you lose the OnlyFans girls, you know you fucked up.
Well, this on top of the Ukrainian subway girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Listen. Here's the thing. They were happy to throw that under the bus. They were happy to sweep that under the rug and just ignore the shit out of it. They were happy to do it because at the end of the day, it's just another dead Slav. They don't fucking care about Slavs. They never have. If you're a Slav to the Europeans, you're nothing more than the hired help.
Oh, and just for the record, I'm not sure if any of you heard this, but turns out Zelensky refused to let that girl's father over to the U.S. for the funeral because he was of age where he could be conscripted.
Of course.
Incredible.
Yes.
Of course. Because Lord only knows that Zelensky is, a shining beacon of leaders. Fucking hell.
Hey, I will always call him the piano player.
Yep. But no, here's the thing is that, again, they would have been happy to just sweep that under the rug. They were going to ignore it. They don't care about the Ukrainians. They don't care about anything. And it would have been easy for them to just ignore it. Like, look at what happened with it. The only people talking about it were just being derided as being, oh, you're just being racist because it happened to be a black guy that stabbed a white girl. You're just being racist. That's all it was. That was the only discussion. That was the only narrative that was at play. And then all of a sudden, this.
I think we're all so past that fucking excuse at this point.
Well, no. But here's the point, dude. Them killing Charlie was the salient moment. Because not only were they completely, just utterly trying to disparage anybody trying to talk about the chick, and I forget her name off the top of my head. I do apologize. I'm not good with Slavic names, so I don't remember them very well. But not only were they trying to disparage anybody talking about that, but then all of a sudden they realized, oh shit, we shot the wrong guy. We fucked up.
Most of them haven't realized that yet, though.
Oh no. The commentariat has.
Have they?
When you can get Dean fucking Waters and Harry Sisson and all the little paid shills to all of a sudden be like, yo, bro, we need to talk about this. That's when you know they realize that they fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, but one of the MSNBC talking heads got canned.
Michael Dowd.
Multiple of them.
Yes,
Multiple of them have. Because
multiple now.
there was a dude over on CNN that got told, "Hey, you're not on the air anymore." He wasn't fired, but he's no longer on the air. The guy at MSNBC that was canned completely. There was a dude over at ESPN almost opened his mouth about it, and you could see it on the faces of everybody at the table. They literally were quietly conveying, "Don't fucking say it." Because he stopped himself almost immediately.
Oh. Yikes.
No, it's so bad that I told my mother-in-law, I said it's going to be a verbal statement that at the holidays there will be no political discussions because I don't want to hear it. And if I hear it, I'm going to confront it. And there's going to be drama at the table. We're not doing this. You're wrong.
That's a
when my grandmother.
Reason.
No. Listen, when my grandmother, my girlfriend had an appointment for the baby today, and when my grandmother is sitting at the Chinese restaurant that we like to go to with my girlfriend, and my grandmother brings it up to talk to Poe about it to get information, that tells you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Is your grandmother generally a non-political person or apolitical person?
Lifelong Democrat.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they done fucked up.
They fucked up so fucking royally.
Not only that, but like, this has basically ended every single division that people on the right were having.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else except this.
I've not seen Megyn Kelly ally with anybody on the right except her own fucking mouth until after this deal.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a rare occurrence when she plays with other people.
Like, no one's arguing about Israel anymore. No one's arguing about Epstein anymore, or impugning the motives of people who are on the opposite side.
The only motherfuckers who are talking about anything other than Charlie are the motherfuckers that were trying to fucking use this shit against us.
Yeah, I'm done discussing Epstein. We're past that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I no longer care about one's stance on Israel.
Nope. Everyone knows what's going on over there.
Here's the fun part. Yesterday, Gavin and me were having a conversation right after this shit fucking went down, and I called Gavin and I clued him in on what the fuck was going on.
He's like, that wasn't in the bingo cards. He's like, no, it wasn't.
And Gavin made the comment that this is their Pearl Harbor. He immediately quipped back with, "Yep, they touched the fucking boat."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom, as we were having that conversation, my mom messaged me and went, Yamamoto probed the sleeping dragon.
And I'm just going to say this. The response is going to be very, very proportional.
So here's the deal. I don't think the right is going to react the same way the left does when they just, someone gets shot and they just start burning cities down.
No, we do. We engage in the great doxing.
Mm-hmm.
We get you fuckers fired from your jobs. We get you evicted from your homes. We get you completely destitute. And we make damn sure you know that you fucked up.
Yep.
And the sympathy and compassion and goodwill that we have shown you fucking gremlins for the past goddamn fucking 10 years, plus, let's be honest, it's been longer than that. It's gone.
When
so,
you get me, yeah.
Either sack the fuck up and get on the firing line, or disappear.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I've never seen a national level of silent solidarity and simultaneous resolve. Like, you drew the line. Right there, the line was drawn. There's no more discussion. We're just not talking. Everybody's doing it.
They shot the guy who was doing the talking. Like,
Yeah.
they literally killed the guy who was doing the talking.
Again, I'm going to make it very clear. When the OnlyFans girls are turning on you, you fucked up.
Because the OnlyFans girls go to the side that's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not the point. They were all speechless. Like, I sat on fucking Instagram and watched probably about 100 fucking reels. All but 10 of them, maybe, were about Charlie Kirk.
Mm.
And most of them were, what the fuck happened? Why did this happen? It was abject horror. And then I started going through profiles and started going through stories. And then I ran across this one chick who was sitting there like, you do realize what you just did. Like, you didn't just fucking kill somebody. You just fucking hardened an entire segment of the population. I follow a bunch of motocross chicks on my fucking Instagram.
Yeah.
And more than half of them are posting things in remembrance of Charlie. Like, when you people don't fucking understand, you're in the minority. You just made yourself the fucking minority in this country. Forget about 2026. Forget about 2028. Forget about 2030. Fucking forget everything until like 2070.
I have a feeling that I have a feeling, though, that they don't. I think they're acting this way because they forfeited that plan.
No, they're acting this way because they feel, so here's what it comes down to. Is they feel like they're under existential crisis because we've started cutting off their funding. We've started cutting off their political support. We started cutting off this and that and so on and so forth. Antifa is the militant arm. The militant arm has its own revenue streams. The militant arm is the last arm of their organization, of their operation, that has the capability to sustain itself. And so now they have decided, now is the time to lash out. Now is the time to get violent because we've cut off everything else.
Yeah.
We killed their soft power, and now they have to utilize their hard power in order to make a difference. And guess what? There's a lot more fucking hard power on our side, bitches.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
My whole deal is the motherfuckers who are, I was just telling Mike earlier, it's like, it was staged because of this and this. It's like, guys, first of all, y'all don't get to talk about conspiracies after ridiculing the entire other side for how many decades now of being conspiracy nuts. Y'all don't get to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not. You don't get to go there. We're not letting you.
No.
We're not having that debate.
I would go past. I wouldn't say months. I would go years.
That's what I said. Decades, man. Since Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to point this out. The only group of people that continue to be the fucking problem on our side of the aisle are these libertarians who are nothing but socialists by any other means. I'm looking at you, Thomas Massey.
Yeah, he's a disappointment.
Yeah, Massey, and to a lesser extent, Rand.
Fucking London.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to sit down, too.
They all
making a mess.
They all can fucking get bent.
Well, they're kind of getting ignored anyway.
So at this point in time, what it comes down to, I don't give a shit what any of them have to say. I don't care what they have to offer. They could come to me with the cure for fucking cancer. And you know what my response is going to be? Get the fuck out of here, you crumpet munching piece of shit.
Crumpet munching is crazy.
Yes. Oh, and speaking of which, of that certain awful continent, so they actually had a vote in the European Parliament. Well, I don't think it was a full vote, but they had a thing where they proposed of doing a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. The fuckers voted it down.
Of course they did.
They actively voted
Yeah, they
against.
did.
Yeah.
They tried to do that in
The House of Reps.
Yes.
Yeah. They started whining like a bunch of little babies.
Yes. I mean, like, who votes down a moment of silence for someone who died? Even if it's not someone that's that important in your continent.
You,
like,
people, speaking to the minority, you shot the fucking messenger.
Yeah, literally.
And word just got back to Genghis. You're done. It's over. And if you want to have a shot in hell of surviving the retribution, which we're not going to kill you. We're going to leave you destitute. We're going to leave you penniless. We're going to leave you ostracized from our society. Your only hope of salvation is leaving. So self-deport very quickly. Because that's the only fucking way you get to survive in this world. Because you don't get to survive as a human being. You subhuman pieces of fucking filth in this great nation.
I can work with that.
Yep.
This is the only fucking warning I'm giving. It's the only warning that I have for these people. It's the only bit of grace that I'm willing to extend given the circumstances. Frankly speaking, my left brain, it wants the Irishman to come out so fucking hard. You motherfuckers better be glad that I'm fucking half Guido. Because the Guido in me is keeping the Irishman really tied up right now.
So that's where all the spaghetti went.
So, it's the only warning you're getting. We're going to make sure that every single one of you pays the consequences for your action. Whether it's through your direct involvement, which Hey, Mr. Funny Man up on the roof. Guess what? We're looking for you. You better hope the feds find you first. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
To those who are indirectly involved, who potentially facilitated this operation, who potentially gave aid and comfort to our friend on the roof. You better hope the feds get a hold of you first. And to all the complicit, celebratorious dirtbags, you don't get to be human anymore. You don't get to be part of our society at all. And if you think that I'm being unfair, I'm being a terrible person, I'm being this, I'm being that, good. I don't care anymore. You just firmly radicalized one of the few moderates that were willing to give you a shot, that were willing to give you the grace that you needed to understand that your ideas were dog shit. Now, I'm going to simply just handle you people. And again, we're not going to kill you. We're not going to make the blood run. There's no purpose. Why would I want to water this fantastic, beautiful nation of ours with the blood of subhuman filth? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to corrupt this land with your disgusting biomass?
Yeah.
I warned you guys. I was saving it. I was saving it. So I'm going to get into a little bit details, what we know, and then we're not going to speculate. We're just going to go with what we know. What we know, shooter was positioned on a rooftop about 200 meters to the direct front of Charlie as he was under his tent at the event, firing down at a downward angle.
Also, so just so that some people who, like, I've heard a lot of dumb things said about how the shot happened. How hard do you think it would be with that rifle at 200 yards to hit a target? Like, a human-sized
Bolt-action
target.
rifle, 30-06 with a scope on it?
At about 200 yards. Because, at least to me, it doesn't sound that hard.
It's chump change. It's a chump change shot.
I can take somebody to a range that has never fired a rifle before in their life, and in 20 minutes I can have them hitting 200 yards.
Yeah. With 30-06, it's not a problem at all. And mind you, I called it as soon as, and Gavin and me were talking, and I was like, "Yep, that's a 30 cal." I called it almost immediately. I've shot too much 30 cal in my life to not know what that sounds like. But the point is that, and I guess I am going to speculate a little bit. What appears to have happened was a deflection shot off of Charlie's body armor. He was wearing a covert plate carrier, which appears to have been equipped with steel plates, which caused a deflection shot in which the round mushroomed and then just careened through his fucking neck. Due to the impact of watching the slow-mo of the the shot coming in and just seeing the multiple impacts that Charlie took. He didn't take multiple rounds. It had to have been a ricochet off the plate. So first, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we do not wear steel plates. And second, the security guy, if it's later confirmed that that is in fact what happened, the security guy that was responsible for equipping Charlie with those steel plates, he's not going to enjoy himself. He's going to have to live with that guilt for the rest of his life.
So just to understand, so you say it's a bad thing to generally wear steel plates. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to wear?
So it's steel. No. Okay, so ceramic technology has caught up with anything and everything in the body armor field. Remember, ceramics and composites make up about a little more than a third of the armor profile of an M1 Abrams. Steel makes up part of it, but there's a good chunk of it that is ceramics and composites that are interlaced within the steel. The simple fact is that steel plates were so the original OG form of body armor that the United States military used was developed during the during the Korean War. Technically speaking, is when it was first developed, but it didn't see wide use until Vietnam. The United States Marine Corps utilized a flak jacket with aluminum plates that, of course, would not corrode as due to exposure to water. And then the Army utilized steel plates in their flak jackets. Now, it was segmented plates. It wasn't one continuous sheet of metal. It was segmented plates. But it was identified early on in these early flak jackets that the aluminum plates performed better than the steel plates for this exact reason. Due to the hardness of steel and the fact that you could have extreme spalling and fragmentation from bullets impacting those steel plates, the aluminum plates performed better because the softness of the aluminum actually allowed for the aluminum to catch rounds. So, generally speaking, it is acknowledged that the development of what would become known as the interceptor vest, which was the main body armor selection that was utilized during Operation Desert Storm. The interceptor vest was developed with the pretense of being able to utilize steel plates because that's what the military had at the time, but because it was a ballistically rated carrier, meaning it was made of Kevlar, that when a round impacted, the Kevlar would dampen the energy and then it would hit the plate and be caught by the Kevlar if it didn't penetrate, or if it did penetrate, the round would impact the steel and then the Kevlar would catch the fragmentation from the impact. Note that one Adam Kissinger is actually responsible for a deflection shot that nearly took a dude's arm off at a very widely known presser that he did, in which he was shooting a steel target at 15 fucking feet, basically.
I almost forgot about that.
A round
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah. A round deflected at 180 degrees directly back from the steel target. Another thing is that you have to understand deflection. Tim Pool, unfortunately, is completely inept when it comes to this stuff, and that's fine. If you don't know, you don't know. But him commenting on this earlier really annoyed the shit out of me, because it's like he doesn't understand this concept, and it's really annoying. Certain material has different deflection. So, like, for example, with water, a round can deflect anywhere from 0 degrees to 90 degrees. This is why if you watch a video of a guy using tracer rounds with a full automatic, spraying into a pool of water down below, you will watch the rounds bouncing all over the place. It's called deflection. And what you end up having across the board is that the rounds travel wherever the fuck they're going to go. Bullets are blind. They're going to go wherever the fuck they want. Well, the problem is that steel as a material has some of the highest deflection on projectiles. This is why steel is used for tank armor, because you're trying to deflect rounds incoming.
Would if he was using, say, ceramic, do you think it wouldn't have deflected like that?
The ceramic would have caught it, and the plate itself would have then fractured as the round disintegrated.
No, Kevlar is built to absorb and prevent deflection.
But isn't Kevlar only good up to like handgun caliber rounds? And
No. Listen. Ceramic plate, just the ceramic plate would have saved Charlie there.
Yep.
Just a ceramic plate. Because here's the thing. There's a reason why the new ceramic plates that we use nowadays are standalone plates. The OG ceramic plates that we had back in the day were not standalone plates. They were called complementary plates. So a ballistic carrier complements a steel plate, whereas the ceramic plates during that time period complemented the ballistic carrier because you didn't have any risk of spalling, but the ballistic carrier would slow the rounds down enough in order to allow the ceramic to catch the rounds.
So
you think it was a lazy security detail?
It's possible.
I don't know. I think at that point it's speculation, so I don't know.
Also,
it's absolutely speculation. I honestly I can't say, but the point is that given what I've seen in the slow-mo videos and what I know about this topic, I am convinced at this point in time that had Charlie been wearing a ceramic plate, he would have survived.
A couple of things.
He probably would have had a broken rib, but they would have been able to get on top of him and get him off that stage.
Yeah. So I've heard the word spalling used quite a few times in relation. Is that like similar to fracture? What is spalling exactly?
Okay, so spalling. So here's the thing: is spalling. It's actually a lot of people misuse that word. So what you're referring to is fragmentation.
Yes.
So when a round impacts a surface, it fragments. It fragmentates. Spalling is from the interior. So, say for example, you're in a tank, and somebody smacks a round into the side of your tank, and all of a sudden pieces of the armor on the inside of the tank start flying around. That's called spalling.
I see.
This is why you have anti-spalling protection inside of a tank to prevent spalling from killing the crew. Because you can knock out a tank by just smacking it with a really big round and spalling the shit out of the armor and killing the crew from the inside.
Yeah. That's actually how a lot of conventional tank rounds are designed, is to overcome...
High explosive squash head.
Yeah. They're not designed to penetrate the armor. They're designed to shatter the internal quarter inch of the armor and just shotgun everything in the tank.
Yeah, they turn the tank into a freaking claymore.
Yes.
Yep.
Wild. And secondly, assuming that he had not been wearing body armor, would that have been a shot that is survivable with
no, it would have killed him. It would have killed him. No, I'm gonna be completely honest. There were a few people that were commenting about how the shot was low, or was misplaced because the guy had his gun zeroed improperly. But here's the problem. There are two of the most common zeros in the world right now is the 100 meter zero and the 200 meter zero. The 100 meter zero is the standard, but it's not the new. It's not. Honestly speaking, it's fallen off quite a bit. The average
dramatically fallen off over the last 10 or 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah. The average person who uses a 100 meter zero is somebody using an ACOG. Because ACOGs back in the day were set up in 100 meter intervals. The 200 meter zero, which is what most of us use nowadays, and for example, my AR is utilizing a 200 meter zero. My dad's rifles utilize a 200 meter zero, etc., etc., etc. Basically, I don't know anybody that uses a 100 meter zero anymore. And here's the thing.
I had one rifle, but it was designed specifically to shoot at 100 yards and nowhere else.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But the point is that the 200 meter zero accounts perfectly for what I'm seeing from the video. The dude aimed for his heart.
Yep.
He did not know Charlie was wearing body armor. But because of the steel plate, the round fragmented and then shot upwards into Charlie's neck.
Yeah, and the reason that the round hit high on the plate itself is because the shot was taken at about, what are they estimating it right now? Between
about 100, 180 to 185, something like that.
Yep, so that bullet is going to be traveling about 2 inches higher than the zero at that distance.
Yeah. And so,
which is why it hit the top of the plate instead of over the heart.
Yeah. And again, if you look at the slow-mo, it looks like Charlie takes 2 impacts.
Yep.
It looks like he takes an impact to the plate and then he takes the impact to his neck. And we already know there was only 1 shot fired.
Yes. And also, I mean, kind of a grisly detail, but a 30 cal from a long gun, I would have assumed the entrance wound would have been a lot bigger had it been a direct hit to the neck than it ended up being.
Yes. No, I'm gonna say this right now. Charlie would have looked like the guy from Butler had he been directly hit by the round.
Mm-hmm. There also would have been like,
yeah, that's fair.
Blood was only coming out of one hole, and I suspect that if he was hit in the neck, it would be coming out the back. You'd be able to see it coming out the back too, which it wasn't. Meaning.
Yeah, no. Again, at this point in time, I believe it was a deflection shot off of his armor. Yeah. I believe if somebody pushes hard enough to find out what body armor he was wearing at the time, they would say it was a steel plate.
Yeah, the way it looks, and I can only go by what's on the video from multiple angles, because there's no coroner's report that we're aware of, is that when it deflected off of his plate, part of the bullet itself flattened out as it was fragmenting.
Yep.
And it sliced his neck open or it went in, and as it was coming out, it sliced it open. That's why you had so much blood so fast. It was because it cut the carotid artery entirely.
Now, does that account for being...
Gavin, you're breaking up. We cannot hear you.
Yeah, couldn't make a...
Hello.
Yep.
There you are.
Said, how does that account for him getting essentially paralyzed?
Shock.
Spontaneous shock. Like the dude literally went into shock instantaneously.
He lost so much blood so fast that his brain was oxygen starved, most likely. And that's why you see the physical body reaction that he has isn't from the strike of the bullet on his plate. It's his body locked up, because that's what happens is common to happen when there's a traumatic injury to the brain, and massive blood loss does cause traumatic injury.
Yep.
One thing I'm not understanding, because generally speaking, if you put someone in a blood choke, cut off the blood to their brain, it still takes them about 8 to 10 seconds to pass out. Whereas like this looked like it instantly killed him. No.
So somebody, due to the flow, somebody was able to give a rough estimate that he lost about a pint to a pint and a half of blood within 2 seconds. Remember, the carotid runs directly from the heart.
Right.
So his heart basically dumped all the blood that was in that part of his heart straight out of his neck.
Yeah. What would have gone to his brain went out.
Yeah, but what I mean is, generally, like, from my understanding, it does still take at least a few seconds of no blood to your brain before you pass out, whereas this looks like it was instantly out. Like,
well, again, it's called spontaneous shock. Remember, shock can kill you. Remember, okay, so let's use an example that everybody knows across the board: hypothermia. In the case of hypothermia, what is the most dangerous thing? You going into shock. Because if you go into shock, it can cause your body to start shutting down.
Yeah.
That's the point. He went into shock so quickly that he just locked up. And that's the whole point, is he was dead before he hit the ground.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, another good example is good old-fashioned guillotining. The body didn't know what happened to your neck at that point because it was so quick. So you'd still see people, there's still records of people blinking and looking around going, what happened? Without actually saying it, obviously. Where compared to this is it was such a traumatic injury so quickly in a different way that he still had some oxygenation left in his brain where he could have been conscious, but it's extremely unlikely.
Oh no. Here's the thing, is that this was probably one of the worst ways for him to die. Because he would have been conscious for those 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
He would have been conscious for about a second all total. He felt everything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. Where you were talking about, and I had to step away slightly so I could hear you, but I couldn't make out every word you were saying. And that was my fault. That you were trying to understand it compared to a chokehold or an asphyxiation hold. With an asphyxiation hold, what you're doing is either pinching the jugular or carotid. You'll have to correct me on that.
It would be the carotid, because the carotid is the one going to the brain. The jugular is the one going back.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're pinching the blood flow to cause a blackout.
Yes.
Or you're keeping your larynx, the person's larynx, from being able to pass air.
Right.
So it's a slower process. It takes if it's someone that knows exactly what they're doing, it's about 15 seconds, roughly.
Yes.
Where with Charlie, it was
seconds.
He was gone before he hit the floor, if he made it that long.
Yeah.
That's why you saw his head collapse backwards like a limp noodle, and then his body went down. Because when he passed out, his head just flopped.
Yeah, this is the difference between Kentucky Ballistics and Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Kentucky Ballistics nicked his carotid.
Wait, wasn't it
He
his
did
jugular?
not.
It was the jugular, wasn't it? It was the one going. It was the one carrying blood away from his brain.
I thought it was the okay. It might have been a jugular. I thought it was his carotid, but if it was his jugular, then fine.
Yeah.
But
right.
the point is, I don't remember. But the point is he nicked it. He didn't sever it,
Yeah.
and that's the point. Is as soon as you sever that shit,
You're
that's when you're done.
Yeah, there's no way to stop it at that point. There's nowhere you can tourniquet because that's where everything goes. It's going through.
Yeah. So what we end up having at the end of the day is the vast majority, and I mean the vast majority, of this situation is going to come down to, again, leftists, you fucked up. You know, if this guy was smart, our friend from the rooftop, if he was smart, he would turn himself into the feds. Don't let yourself get grabbed by us, because they'll never find you.
Yes.
Never. That 100K for information, that was to incentivize people turning him in, because they knew damn well that if they didn't put that bounty out, they'd never find him, ever. Mm-hmm. It would just go down quietly as a meetup with of the group who found the guy. It would be a quiet meetup at Charlie's tombstone where they would be like, "We got him, bud. You can rest easy."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all it would. That's all it would be. So if he was smart, he'd turn himself into the feds. If he was smart. Now, of course, he's not going to do that because the Utah governor already fucking put it out there. Utah still has the death penalty.
That it does.
Now, to all the other leftists, socialists, communists, whatever the fuck you are, I don't give a shit. At this point in time, you're all subhuman filth to me. You got one of two choices: either leave the country or be forced into destitution and poverty and being ostracized and just, being treated like the filth you are. Like hell. I had a guy, yeah, I'm not trying to give anything away. But let's just say, there's an individual that made a joke yesterday, and I told him, be glad I'm not the one down there right now, because if it was me, you wouldn't walk out of that place. Period in the story. You just wouldn't. And nobody would know. Not a damn fucking person. You would just disappear.
Yep.
Like, it's a case of, like, you want to be some of the most vile subhuman pieces of shit out there, then fine. Cool. Like, we'll treat you like it.
As you should.
All these women that are losing their shit because they're losing their fucking jobs and they're losing their apartments. I've seen easily, 50, 60 videos today probably of women, at least 2/3 of them have been women losing their jobs. And then there's been quite a few who their landlords have literally said, you got 30 days to vacate. Like, there was one chick that lost both her job and her apartment because her apartment was contingent on her job. And she's like, what did we do? What did I do? Blah, 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 so on, so on. And it's like, you're a fucking shit human being. You're a subhuman. And again, I don't know why I called her a human being. No, she's subhuman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the thing is like the language is on purpose. You want to act subhuman? We will treat you like subhuman.
And yes,
Now I'm not going to say the joke I made earlier, just for the sake of reducing the amount of work that Dale has to do to censor me. but yeah, you think Charlie was evil? You haven't seen evil yet. Mm-hmm. Not even close. You don't know what the others around us are capable of. What we're willing to do to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
You have no clue. You have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I think, and I do have to give him some credit for this, but I think that what Matt Walsh said on this was accurate in that, like, if this person did this in order to, like, make us be afraid, then, like, that's not going to happen. But the only thing, the only thing that we may be in fear of is saying what we're thinking, just because if we say what we're thinking, we'll most definitely be getting banned.
Oh, getting banned, potentially getting arrested.
Yes.
Potentially facing consequences that we don't want to face right now, because those consequences are really, really, really bad for, establishing logistics and and training and yeah.
But we're all thinking it. We're just not saying it. But we're thinking.
Oh, again, like as I said, like there's, again, the joke that I made earlier before you got here, Dale. Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like me and several other people have said the same thing, or similar things. They do not understand that they just opened a whole fucking shit show.
Yes.
And, I don't know if you've paid attention to my Twitter exchanges today.
No, I have not.
Oh, man. I again, when I say the sympathy and goodwill and compassion is gone, I mean it.
Yes. And I think an analogy was made that I think bears repeating, in that for the left, when their level of, like, violence and, their level of hostility, it's kind of like a dial. It can be turned up and it can be lowered and it can be raised fairly easily. That's what it's like for people on the left. For people on the right, it's a switch. It's either off or it's on. And it's now on. It doesn't really dial the way that, like, the left version does. It just either is on or off.
Yeah.
And that bullet turned it on.
Yeah. One group has a dimmer dial and the other has a on and off.
Yes.
Well, and you're absolutely right. And, like, again, like, I can't say half of the shit that I want to say, because I know damn well, like I've said some very harsh things today on Twitter.
Yep.
There's worse. Like, I would love to just show some of that shit in the recording, just from the perspective of, it's like, no, this is how I feel right now, and acknowledge that I'm not going to I'm giving them the Reddington treatment.
What is that?
Like, Mitch was absolutely correct when he said that yesterday.
What is the Reddington treatment?
Have you ever watched the TV show Blacklist?
No.
All right, so the quote unquote bad guy of the story, Raymond Reddington, he doesn't get mad. He just tells you that he's mad, that you fucked up, how you fucked up, and then proceeds to shoot you in the face.
Fair enough.
Give them the Reddington treatment.
Yes.
Don't lash out violently. Don't lash out. No. Move the pieces that need to be moved. And then when the opportunity comes for us to handle these people directly and decisively, it is cool, calm, and calculated. Let's show the kids how you handle your problems. Because right now, if we let the kids loose, oh shit. The joke I made earlier, real quick, just cut this out just so you have context of what I'm talking about.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're gonna And here's the thing, Will made a comment, earlier about, are you sure you want to do that? And again, as I said, indoctrination is a great thing.
Yes. And also, Stoner, that quote, I would have to agree with that quote. For anyone not seeing, he there was that famous World War II quote after Pearl Harbor where, I can't remember who exactly said it, but
Isoroku Yamamoto.
Yeah, it was Yamamoto, who said that they've awakened a sleeping giant and filled him with a terrible resolve. Yes, they have.
Oh, absolutely. All right, hey, real quick, I need to go do trucks, so.
All right, no worries.
Oh, you got. I thought you was going to read my Vlad the Impaler lawn ornaments.
Oh yes. You also said, yeah, if you want Vlad the Impaler lawn ornaments. Very nice.
Get away.
So yeah,
well, you know what they say? Good fences make good neighbors, but bad neighbors make good fences.
Yes.
Hey, somebody try talking real quick.
All right.
Can
you hear me?
you hear me?
Sorry, I just wanted to make my one earbud was dying, so I just wanted to make sure that my other one connected properly.
No worries.
But now, and actually gives me a moment to cool down because No, they like, that's the thing, is like, they do not understand just what they did.
Yes. And like, we're saying this, and we're not even fans of Charlie Kirk's. Right? Imagine what the people who were are saying. Or are thinking.
Dale.
Yeah.
You remember when I said, let's show the kids how it's really done?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think I was talking about?
Fair point. Yeah.
Because that's the other thing that they don't realize. Who was Charlie Kirk's audience?
Young men, mostly. Right? Turning Point was like a high school and college thing.
No, you failed there. Young men and women.
Oh.
Remember, Turning Point, it's like what, 30%, 35% women?
I actually didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a massive wing of women in fucking Turning Point. Like, it's like they pissed off an entire generation. And they think that they're gonna win this?
There is enough women in Turning Point that it's a whole group unto themselves. They have their own gatherings. They have their own giant conventions. Yeah, it's 30 to 35% would not surprise me at all, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was higher than that.
But that's the point, though, is that, like, when you unite the sexes under a common goal, and all of a sudden the women who send the men off to fight are willing to get into the trenches themselves. Well, let's just say that's a bad situation for you there.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, real quick, I just need you guys to understand this, like how bad this is for them. I walked in this morning or this afternoon to work. Went to the cafeteria real quick to get a drink. And as I'm coming out of the cafeteria, my supervisor is walking down the hallway from the restroom. And we're talking. Hey, how you doing? What's up? You know, so on and so forth. And you know what he says to me?
What?
He's like, well, could be doing a lot better considering what happened yesterday.
I said exactly those words to the guy that dropped off the dumpster at my mother's house today.
Hey, Warhound, good news. Mel's got her inhaler, and she's feeling a lot better now.
That's good.
All right, cool. But here's the point. I've had that same interaction with like half of the staff here today. Because the majority of them, it happened while they were working, so they didn't know it happened.
All right.
But then today, I heard a lot of people talking about it.
That's how you know you've done fucked up, when the normies out in real life are talking about this shit at work.
Yeah, when this
I also got to ask, how long is this momentum going to be kept up?
Oh, this is permanent.
Yeah, so remember what I said, Stoner, right? It's not a dial in the right. It's either on or off, and it's now on.
Yeah, and on top of that, Charlie Kirk was one of the regulators.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the people that calmed people down, that wanted to do something.
He was.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yes.
Let me put it to this way. Put it this way to Mitch earlier and to William. He was lieutenant, and they just shot the lieutenant, and we're a bunch of cran eaters that just lost all impulse control.
They took the governor off the ass whooping machine.
Yep.
Yeah. When you drop the corpsman, the Marines get pretty pissed off.
No, they dropped the officer. And
I know.
The officer is the one that keeps them in line so they don't go off the deep end. When Doc when Doc takes a hit, the lieutenant loses his shit.
That's a good point.
But
when a woman gets killed, everybody loses their shit.
No, that's when the war crimes happen.
That's when Blackwater gets blamed.
You're not wrong. I do feel bad for. I will say I feel bad for Eric Prince on that one, because there were several of those incidents that were not Blackwater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely did some naughty over there, but not all of it was them. Sorry, I squirreled there for a moment.
No worries.
We're not recording now, are we?
We are.
Yeah, we're just doing intermission because I'm doing trucks.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway done.
No worries.
I wish the weather would decide what it wants to do over here.
What's it like?
30 degrees warmer than it was yesterday, roughly.
Was it normal yesterday, or was it cold yesterday, or what? Like
Yesterday and today are both normal.
Oh.
There's a saying where I live, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It's schizophrenic.
Hey, I know that saying.
Yes, I know.
Which region does this refer to in the U.S.?
Midwest.
Midwestern.
Oh, it's Midwestern.
Yeah, anywhere around the Great Lakes.
Yeah, pretty much. When you
Because
have
when you have large bodies of water, it affects wind current, rainfall, fucking temperature, or humidity, et cetera, et cetera. So you can get some really, really weird shit.
Yes.
Yeah, when you have inland seas, call them what they are. When you look out and you can't see the horizon is the shoreline is further than the horizon. You don't have a lake anymore.
Yeah.
And then you also get shit like the UP, where it's just like winter 9 months of the year. There's just snow everywhere.
Yes.
Also, I do apologize for missing some of the...
No worries.
Yeah, it had cut me over.
Yeah. The warning and the message that I gave was
Dr. Giroux, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
oh,
What's going?
Doc?
Yeah.
Oh, you glorious son of a bitch. I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing?
I'm okay. Just, the usual. Nothing going on in the world, right? So
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
God, you missed my opening speech for the podcast.
Your 20-minute rant.
I might have scared the boys a little bit. There's a reason why Stoner posted Bonino Mussolini in the side chat for a reason.
Yes.
So what's the good word on poor Charlie Kirk, and I just want to, I'll just cut to the chase. Like my theory, and I totally get it's just a theory and could easily be proven wrong, but it's like, and I posted this earlier over on X, but I think Occam's razor, and there was some guy actually posted this, so I'm not he posted a really nice analysis, but basically Occam's razor, simplest possible explanation being the best one. This is likely some Trantifa freakazoid who did this. Showed some evidence of training, but not a pro. Left a gun. Left scroll with cartridges with some scrawled shit on it. It's probably some crazed Trantifa person, probably one of those trans gun club people, and that's probably it. But I'm happy to hear other theories.
So actually, so I'm gonna put my Tom hat on for a second. I'm gonna grab the cigar. So here's the thing: is we have successfully cut off a shit ton of the revenue streams for the left in the nation. We're going so far as to attack the cartel in order to cut off money from the cartel to the left.
Yep.
And as it stands, the only ones that are making their own money within the left, colloquially, are Antifa. Because they are the militant arm, and so they have to be as self-sufficient as possible in order to remain at a state of readiness.
So how do they make their money?
Drug trade.
Oh.
So, and we know this for a fact. There was actually a streamer that, Portland Andy, who infiltrated a little bit. He went to one of the protests back in the day, and when he was there, he was mistaken for an actual member, and one of the pilot officers walked over and said, "Hey, here's your pay for the week," and tossed him a bag of shit, and it was meth. So how they fund themselves, per what I've been told by other people and what we've seen on video, is what they do is they have dealers that operate for the production operation, and then they pay their members in drugs, and then the members can either keep the drugs and use them, or they can sell them and make money off of them. Either or. And so that's how they sustain their operations, is through the drug trade. And
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
which is why if you go into these places like Portland, like Seattle, like LA, like Chicago, like Burlington. Burlington's a very special place. That's why they have such a high rate of drug usage, is because the local Antifa chapters are selling drugs to the local populace to make money.
Mm.
And Well, and the whole point is that the only self-sufficient arm that they have left of the left is Antifa. And notice how we have had a significant spike in left-wing violence over the past year.
True.
Or the past 4 months.
Yeah, as soon as USAID got shit canned.
Well, USAID was a big part of it, but was actually the bigger part was all the other NGOs that they had to go through and handle individually, which is why it took us such a long time to get to this point. And so now, like, look at Georgia. All of a sudden, the country, the Tbilisi protests have fallen apart because the NGOs are no longer supplying the money. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why they're now attacking Georgia Dream in the EU, because they have to use their actual nation states in order to attack Georgia now, in order to be able to get the color revolution that they're trying to get in Georgia.
Yes.
So,
or I think
in general,
Speaking of Europe, I got something I need to ask you. What's the deal with Poland and them wanting to enact Article 4 of the NATO treaty? What's going on there?
Article 4 is merely basically a consultation about potential breaches of sovereignty. And at this point in time, the evidence that the Russians and the Ukrainians are both responsible for the drones crashing in, because again, none of the drones were actually flying towards critical targets. They were just crashing in fields.
Yeah, their airspace was heavily violated, pun intended, and they ended up having to shoot down a couple drones themselves, and they're pissed.
Why would it make any sense at all for Russia to do any sort of deliberate it's completely it's utter nonsense. Like, Poland clearly is one of the more reluctant participants in this NATO nonsense with Ukraine, so that doesn't make sense. Russia is probably one of the most disciplined and restrained tacticians on the world stage right now is Vladimir Putin. Like, that is obvious to anybody. So and the only people with real clear incentive to set off Poland and do this shit is Zelensky and the fucking psycho drug addicts running Ukraine. Von der Leyen and France and England. like they would be the one because they're the ones that want to start shit because shit is starting with them. Like France is falling apart, UK is a basket case, and the EU.
Okay,
if nothing changes, the EU's gone in 3 years.
Doc, listen.
You answered your own question.
Let me just point out one very particular thing. The UK went to shit last week. What happened literally 2 days ago?
What did happen? So much has happened.
The Parliament building in Nepal burned.
Oh yeah, what's up with that?
Well, you could go with the European media and be like, oh, it was because they were shutting down social media and free speech and access to information and yada yada yada. Or or you could take a look at who visited Nepal the same day that the Parliament building burned.
Which
And
was
Victoria fucking Newland.
You got to be kidding me.
Nope. The witch of Maidan herself.
Oh God, that woman just doesn't know when to crawl in a hole and go away.
Yeah.
why
But
isn't
Victoria-
she in a hole?
Wow.
I thought that bitch was out. I thought that bitch was out of the job after Trump took over.
Yeah, she's
What?
freelancing.
Yeah.
She's freelancing, or she's got other pots of money she's being paid out of.
No, she's got a job at fucking Harvard. She works at
Oh,
Harvard right now.
Oh, awesome. Oh, along with a bunch of other lowlifes, like that New Zealand horse face. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
I was just thinking about this, Nepal.
shut up for a second. Shut up for a second. I was getting to it.
Yeah,
Now,
but whenever you get done, I gotta
shut
talk.
I love you, but shut up. But here's the point: is that the UK went to shit, and then all of a sudden, Nepal went to shit. Now, I wonder why Nepal is so important to the UK. Oh wait, literally the most premier special forces unit in the entire fucking world comes from Nepal.
Right.
It's called the fucking Gurkhas. And oh, by the way, if you don't know this, when Gurkhas gain their citizenship in the UK, they don't move their families. Their families stay in Nepal. So what happens? You create chaos. While chaos is spinning up in the UK, you create chaos in Nepal. You force all the Gurkhas to take a leave of absence. All of a sudden, one of the most loyalist groups of UK military in the entire country, in the entirety of the EU, the greatest loyalist force is all of a sudden no longer a problem. By the way, this is why they were trying to spin up Ukraine. This is why they were trying to spin up Israel and Iran. This is why they were trying to spin up China. They were trying to get our military overseas so that they could fucking enact their plans here.
This doesn't make sense yet. This doesn't make sense yet. I don't get it. Why? So Gurkhas in UK versus in Nepal, and where are they taking a leave to, and like who?
No. Okay. The Gurkhas.
What's happening?
The Gurkhas are gonna fight. The Gurkhas are going to fight for the crown.
Yeah.
They're not gonna fight for the bureaucrats.
The UK crown or the Nepal crown, or both.
The UK crown.
The UK.
No, they're loyal to the UK. That's the whole point of being a Gurkha. They're loyal to the UK. And so when it comes down to it, when King Charles decides to grow a fucking spine finally and enact the dissolvement of Parliament, the Gurkhas are going to be the ones enforcing it, because they are not even the royal guard are as loyal as the Gurkhas. Because you know what the Gurkhas fight for?
What?
Victorian fucking crosses. They are glory hungry and fucking battle hungry. They don't give a shit. They
Well, I
just
guess-
want their VCs.
I guess I don't understand what Nepal's relationship with the UK, and is it a former colony? I don't even understand.
It's a former colony. It's a former colony.
Okay.
Wasn't it part
All
of
right.
British India before India?
Yep.
Yeah.
They lost British India and they kept Nepal, basically.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Pines Canyon Road.
One of the things that's stirring up the UK so much and why they want the Gurkhas out is on the 13th. In 2 days, they're going to have God knows how many people marching on Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
As well, they should.
Yep.
And Charles might be forced to do something.
Oh, forced. Forced isn't the word I would use. I'd use compelled.
Well, did they meet their goals, or are the Gurkhas still in the UK?
Well, that's the thing is I don't know. We will see.
Shit.
Because if the Nepali Rangers, which this is the thing you have to understand. So the Nepali Rangers are effectively and here's the fun part is people like to joke about Nepal. Don't joke about Nepal just because they're different does not mean they're any less combat effective.
Hey, these are the guys that volunteered to jump out of airplanes without parachutes. Literally.
These guys are fucking crazy.
There was an officer, I don't remember when it happened, that went up to like 50 of these guys and went, I need volunteers to jump out of an airplane. They did not understand that they were going to have parachutes, and 5 of them volunteered.
Pretty wild.
So what's the angle on basically? I mean, King Charles, whatever, King Sausage Fingers. He seems half demented and addled. I don't know. His strings are being pulled by somebody else, and I don't know who that is. But the point is, like, is there an argument to be made that like there are people operating within the British government or the blob that are running down the UK to such a degree to like turning it into such a chaos and shit show that they can then dissolve Parliament and then what's the plan to
No, okay. So no. You've actually got it a little backwards. The parliamentarians are responsible for the chaos. If Charles, who, by the way, is controlled by the parliamentarians through his MEQ, Charles can be compelled by one Donald Trump and Prince William. Oh, by the way, who has been spotted visiting Trump in Scotland, by the way.
Yeah.
The point is that the parliamentarians need to keep Parliament in place in order to continue creating the chaos. Because the whole point is that they're trying to create the chaos in order to gen up more and more chaos to be able to create the circumstances so that they can get rid of the euro and implement the digital euro. Remember, Doc, it's all about getting rid of the old debt. That's all it's about. And how do you get rid of the old debt? You get rid of you federalize the EU and you get the digital euro in place. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and then push button inflation and push button. You can. It's brilliant. But
no, there's the digital euro. There's no more inflation because
exactly. But here's the point: is that if Charles, whose MEQ is currently controlled by the parliamentarians, all of a sudden, if his MEQ is controlled by Trump and his son, by the way, and Trump and Andrew say, it's not Prince Andrew. Fuck, what's his son's name?
William,
sorry.
Elder is William. Just look at the screen and you'll remember.
Yeah. but if Trump and William look at Charles and say, dissolve Parliament and abdicate the throne. That's all he got to do. He dissolves Parliament, declares Parliament persona non grata, and sends in the Gurkhas. The Gurkhas, again, do not care about the Parliament. They only fight for the crown. They only fight for those fucking VCs. They are loyal to the crown first and foremost because the crown is the one that gives them the Victorian crosses.
Yep.
And then, all of a sudden, William is... you rush the coronation of William. William takes control and then just starts blanket reforming. You don't need a Cornwall or a Cromwell, my bad. You don't need a Cromwell when you got a William.
Yeah.
And if William does what I think he's going to do, I might just become a House Windsor supporter very quickly. I say this as a House Stuart supporter.
Oh, they're saying something.
You think there's
Yes.
evidence this
Yes,
Prince William
I
has
am a
got?
Jacobite.
He's got some nationalist stones in him.
Oh, William?
William? Oh, yeah.
Oh, sir, those aren't nationalist stones. Those are sovereigntist stones.
Let's put it this way. He's still pissed about Mom, and he's pissed about his brother. He has got a lot of bones to pick, and he's...
Which brother is he pissed about?
His mom was killed because she was a very close ally of his grandmother.
Oh, I just had weird noise. You were saying something allied to somebody, and it just static.
Okay, I heard that too. I don't know what it was. She was
Wasn't Willie's
his mother. His mother was killed because she was a close ally of his grandmother.
Wasn't Willie's mama Lady Diana?
Yes,
Who was his grandmother?
Duchess Diana,
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth II.
Ah.
The one that finally, her body finally gave out before her mind did a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Who was the
imagine that.
long
That woman held out so long that it wasn't until you guys realize that the UK only really went to shit after Elizabeth died.
Yeah.
Tell me she was a figurehead, and I'll show you real power.
I've heard it said that what caused the UK to go to shit. I was reading a good article about this. Was it some Parliament Act of 1911 that basically defanged the House of Lords and ripped apart all the landed elite, who then just sort of were like, well, fuck this place, and then after that just kind of created a vacuum for.
No.
Go ahead, yeah.
See, it wasn't that they were attacking the landed elite with that. They were attacking King George's allies. That's the point. They were attacking the crown's power in 1911.
Well, however you cut it, it's not like it's like the rich and wealthy and elite in Britain largely don't seem to give a shit about the country anymore. And so I love hearing that Prince William is a sovereigntist. Great. I mean, it'd be nice if some people who actually cared about Britain and England stepped up.
Do you know why? I'm blanking on her name. Unfortunately, I don't pay attention to people outside the country usually. William's wife,
Kate
Duchess
Middleton.
Kate. Yeah, Duchess Kate.
Oh,
Yep.
she has stupid Netflix cooking shows and shit that I have trouble believing anybody watches, right? Is that the one?
that's the younger-
So
Okay, never mind.
So, Kate, she's been associating with the business class a lot. for years now. When her cancer shit happened, she was doing deals after deals after deals after deals. She almost killed herself because she was working too much.
Okay.
Yeah, she's putting together a power base for William.
William has a power base within the business class of the UK.
Well, that's great. I mean, look, I find this super encouraging to hear because I mean, you just hear news after news of the UK, and it's like the most depressing shit you've ever heard. And honestly, and the only other question I would have is, how does Tony Blair fit into all this? Because he's been basically, I mean, he's the guy twirling his mustache and like, I mean, he's been in basically, as far as I can understand, Tony Blair has been Wes.
Remember, who replaced Margaret Thatcher?
I don't remember. I was looking this up the other day. Was it Blair?
It was Blair.
Yeah, the Euro trash.
He's like, I mean, he's just pure concentrated evil.
By the way, who was Thatcher directly, publicly, and very, very conspicuously allied to within Britain?
Hard to find out.
Queen Elizabeth II.
Yes, they had a very complicated relationship.
Yes, because just like with Diana, Elizabeth could not be outwardly allied to them. She had to present a very neutral position with them. But at the end of the day, Elizabeth always signed off on their ideas. Weird. It's almost like they all had the same goal, and Diana was killed because Diana was the up-and-coming star.
And she really was,
and
too.
Thatcher,
even after
Thatcher was removed because she kept the parliamentarians in line.
Okay, who killed Lady Di?
It was the
Story
parliamentarians.
goes, it was the paparazzi as she was being chased through, I forget which tunnel it was in France, with her then boyfriend. No, then fiance, who was a Saudi something or other. But the video footage of it was less than spectacular because they actually did the tunnel.
Well, I barely remember everything that happened that day because I was just a kid, but I do remember it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the point is that Diana was killed because she was a threat to everything.
Oh, that was the other part of it.
She knew the operation.
Yeah.
I am convinced the reason why she was forced to divorce Charles was because they needed to get rid of her. And notice how Charles took a very distinct step back from politics after her death.
Oh, he disappeared for years.
He did not want to kill his wife. The problem was is that I'm convinced that when we find out more about Andrew, we will find out more about Charles.
I was just thinking about this. Assuming we get our way and everything, there is one big problem in the UK that has to be solved. The fucking migrants and the rape gangs. Because if they're not dealt with, it's just going to be the same shit all over.
Listen.
They're there intentionally to cause problems.
Yeah, they're literally
Weaponized migration. Weaponized migration.
Well, it's even beyond that, because we now know that the majority of them are coming through the Channel Tunnel.
France. It's a French thing.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the fucking scumbags. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's still. I mean, it's
French.
Yeah. It's always the French.
Oh, the 100 Years' War is still going.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's a joke, but it really
French.
is. They're still fighting each other constantly.
Fucking snail eating frogs.
So what? But what I'm being told is what's going to happen is either sooner or later. You know, I mean, maybe as late as I forget what it is, 2027, I don't know. Like, but reform's going to be next, and Farage is going to fix everything, and he'll.
Farage is City of London through and through. The piece of shit can fucking take a long walk off a short pier.
But here's what I worry about. I think that people in the Trump administration have convinced themselves, and you know, God bless Trump. He has so many things on his plate he has to pay attention to. But I think that there's a cadre of folks in the Trump administration who have convinced themselves that Farage would be good, reform would be good. They're controllable, and if we get reform in power, then then they'll be, UK will be in our fold, and they'll be a good proxy, and yada yada. And I think there is that. I'm not saying that that's the plan, but I think there's a certain group that kind of think that in the Trump administration. I mean, they certainly despise. Yeah, they despise Keir Starmer. They despise labor. But for obvious reasons, I mean, they're a nightmare. But they think that reform would be controllable. So that's my thinking.
Farage is the best way to describe Nigel Farage is he is a temporary Band-Aid to last about 10 years, to slow things down just enough to get the water to stop boiling. And it's intended that way.
Slow down the weaponized migration so you just don't notice it. So you lose your country slowly. Go back to just turning the water up slowly on the frog. Don't just throw it in the boiling water.
Yeah, pretty much. It's turn the temperature down just enough to get the people to not want to lynch them. Because right now you've got Ireland, Scotland, and decent chunks of England that are ready to take up arms that their grandparents buried after World War II. They're getting to that point over there now.
Well, honestly, they should be. Oh my God, it doesn't really there's no
Am I wrong on that one?
They are getting ready to rise up spoon in hand and overthrow the government.
They can't rise up spoon in hand there. They'll get in legal trouble.
That's true.
They went past knives. They're at spoons now.
Okay, listen. 1, William, you're absolutely correct. 2, I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. There are a shit ton, and I mean a metric shit ton, of Mark II and III Sten guns that went missing after the war.
I'm aware.
Do not think for even a second that those guns aren't going to be used. And by the way, a Sten gun is just as good as any modern firearm.
Oh, they're great.
It's just a matter of, you got to replace the spring in the magazines.
I like the British tube.
But the point is that at the end of the day, you do not need to worry about reform. Speaking the doc here. Trump has already identified the problem with Farage. There is a reason why Farage was not summoned to Scotland. Only Keir Starmer was. Only the EU was. Only the people that Trump is actively fighting right now. If Nigel Farage was going to be ordained, he would have been ordered to Scotland. He wasn't
I mean,
told
maybe
to come.
he was put on Capitol Hill, though. Didn't they do a big showy he did something like, so he's been propped up a little bit.
He's been propped up on purpose for the purpose of being replaced. Reform is a vehicle. He is just
Basically, yeah. So look, if the plan that looks like it's taking shape would take shape with reform, and like, you know, Farage and reform gets their hands on things for the next 5 to 10 years, the UK is completely cooked. They're pretty much already cooked anyway. But at that point, I mean, I think that
No. Listen. Reform getting a shit ton of seats is purely from the perspective of giving Charles the open wound that he needs to dissolve Parliament. That's all it is.
What would be the justification for dissolving? Like if I'm sitting here in the United States and somebody's explaining to me like what would be the elevator pitch explanation as to why the Parliament gets dissolved? I just don't understand all this. Like what is
So here's the thing. Is Parliament's failure to pass budgets, Parliament's failure to address societal concerns, Parliament's failure to address military concerns, Parliament's failure to address their own problems.
All right.
Scandal
Yeah.
after scandal after scandal after scandal. And here's the thing, is again, this isn't coming from the tyrannical point of view of Charles I. No. This is coming from the reformist point of view of Charles II.
Yeah, it's not a case of I don't like them, I'm going to get rid of them for my own benefit. It's a case of they have failed so badly, so publicly, so many times that,
mind you,
fresh. And it's still
reform
written that he can.
Reform getting a good chunk of the seats in Parliament and being controlled by the United States, which, by the way, I do not believe for a second that Nigel Farage will be the leader of Reform at that point in time. Reform getting a bunch of seats and then throwing their weight behind the dissolvement of Parliament lends even more credence to it.
You mean reform would be supportive of dissolving itself?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Classic political infiltration.
You get enough reformists that go in there, and I say it that way on purpose, and see how bad it really is, and they're going to throw their hands up and go to the king and say, "Help us.
We can't fix this shit." Yeah. Well, which by the way makes perfect sense, because my understanding at this point is that, you know, like I say, the House of Lords is useless at this point. It's been completely defanged after multiple decades, and then the Parliament itself, they're just, you know, like Blair has, you know, fucked it over. Like I mean, they're basically toothless. It's really the permanent administrative state and the ministers like that control things.
Yeah, it's Blair and Dave Cameron. They both, those two are the core team that has really set this up. And because it's to the benefit of, like, look at what happened with Theresa May. They got rid of Theresa May because Theresa May's budget, had Theresa May's budget been passed for 5 years, would have completed Brexit. Would have. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the situation would be a lot fucking different. They had to kill that budget, because if they didn't, they would not have been able to prevent Brexit from happening.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. Brexit has not been able to complete. And when By the way, Brexit officially happens next year. Brexit is official next year. So if all of a sudden the Reform wins a shit ton of seats, Reform throws its weight behind the King dissolves Parliament, King abdicates throne, William takes control of the country, and then proceeds to start reforming everything, Brexit absolutely happens. And then the EU is sitting there shitting themselves.
Well, here's a good question. I wonder what the British military is going to do when all this shit's going down, and what the European powers, namely the Frogs and the Jerrys, are going to do.
What British military? They're smaller than they've ever been since the 900s.
Yeah.
I know,
The British,
but they still...
the British military is irrelevant. Point is the
what about
particular
those
units? It's the units that matter. The Gurkhas are loyal to the crown. The Royal Guard are loyal to the crown. The Sheffield Rifles are loyal to the crown. There are particular units that are specifically honored by the crown as being loyalist units. Those units then move into London and dismantle it.
What you'd be seeing is an actual coup run by the crown.
Exactly.
You would have a handful of...
I wonder where the British...
They'd just come in and clean house.
All right. But I wonder where the British police lie.
They're irrelevant.
Because I was wondering, because they've been seeming like they're doing everything they can to hurt the British people and not help them.
Okay, listen. Again, the British police are arbiters. They arbitrarily enforce the law. That's it. They are not... They do not have... what's the term? Where an officer can elect to not charge something. What's that called?
Oh,
discretion.
Discretion.
It's a term for it, but yeah.
UK police do not have discretionary powers. They say they do, but they don't, because they're told by their police commanders, this is what you're going to do, and they follow it to the letter. They are arbiters, not police.
A decent way of looking at it is when you think of American police versus British bobbies, you have to think of the British police. It's more of a case of they're the state police. They're not actual local law enforcement.
Exactly.
We're decentralized in the United States to a degree that people don't really appreciate. Like in the UK, they're getting memos from like the Home Office that they have that their managers have to pay attention to. Like in the United States, it's way different, and we also have sheriffs who kind of compete for territory with the local police, and we have the feds. It's like so like it's a little more confusing in the US. We have a lot of overlapping jurisdictions, and it's more decentralized, so it's a better situation. But what I was going to say about the UK police is and it's unfortunate because they're having such huge staffing problems because people keep leaving. The good ones leave. The only ones that stay are the incompetents and the cowards, and it just gets worse and worse. So,
forgive me for saying this, but I'm surprised that there haven't been some British bobbies have their houses burned down.
There have been.
Yeah, it just doesn't make the news because Parliament controls the news.
Exactly.
The government controls the news there, flat out. If they don't want something talked about, it's not talked about.
It's called the BBC for a fucking reason.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about the Pornhub search tab.
But they, 95% of the time, if the British government doesn't want something talked about, it's not going to be. Unless it is so blatantly obvious and in your face that some guy very deep on the other side of the world knows about it. And that's what happened with the grooming gangs. It finally got to a point where they...
Well, that explains why they've been throwing such a bitch fit over why X is so free speech.
Yep.
Yeah. 10 years ago, they wouldn't be having this issue because they didn't have the issue. 10 to 15 years ago, they didn't have the internet problem. Now they've got the internet problem, which really puts them in a lurch.
The social media problem, really.
Yeah.
That's why they've got the that new law that's just going into effect. The child protection, internet, the online protection something.
Online safety. Oh yeah, gotta have safety. So much safety.
Yep, they're using that for one to control what gets out, and two to bankrupt anybody that doesn't comply. Because it's $100,000. If a company doesn't comply, it's $100,000 a day, or 10% of their worldwide income per day, whichever's higher. And it doesn't matter where the company is located in the world. If they do business in Britain, it qualifies.
What's really nice though, this is where having Marco Rubio at the State Department and the Trump administration around is so good, because they can squawk and they can administer fines all they want, but at least for the next few years, they're going to be told to get fucked. At least in the United States. So.
Well,
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, Mel says good night. And lady.
Good night.
Let's see you there, Cat.
Good night. There's actually a really interesting view on that that new law that's going into effect, the online protection, whatever. And it comes from an angle most people wouldn't think, and it's the video game industry, specifically Valve and Steam. They're losing business left, right, and center, and they're going to be fined because no matter what they do, they can't get around that law. The entire business profile is built on they would have to shut down and completely rebuild, which isn't going to happen.
Couldn't they
Because they can't censor enough?
Can't they just cut service for the UK?
VPNs.
But that's basically it. They're not censoring enough. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, listen. I love you guys. I truly do.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be one-dimensional with your fucking analysis, you're no better. You're no better than Charlie.
Oh, ouch.
Charlie would want us to be better. It's not about censorship at all.
Go ahead, 5D chess man. Come on.
Censorship is a tool of it.
Yes, that's part of it. It's part of it, yes, but that's the first dimension. What about the second, third, fourth, fifth order effects? Well, I can tell you what the second order effect is.
Go on.
It's these fines. It's really weird that they put a percentage of world gains or world revenues on that. Almost like a tax.
That's right. They're trying to tax.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, screw those people. That's funny. That's funny.
No, that's
yeah.
the point.
I
It's
seem
a-
to
it's a
remember.
revenue.
I seem to remember having a bit of a dispute over, taxes in the not too distant past.
Yeah. You know what's great about I'm gonna say I think a theory of there's a guy named Morgoth who is quoted reverently over at the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, which I've been listening to a lot lately. But so he has a Substack and he does some good analysis. He actually put out an article it was a couple weeks ago, and he said, my theory is that the Trump administration is trying to basically crash the UK economy completely. Like they want to bankrupt it. And
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think
Listen.
Yeah.
Remember, what has Tom said for the past fucking 3-4 years now? It's all about the Forex trade. You have to crash out the Forex trade to be able to bankrupt City of London. We took away LIBOR. We took away their ability to funnel money. And now we're taking away their ability to exchange or to collect exchange fees. 30% of the world's financial transactions are settled in British pounds. It's the only thing keeping them alive.
Yeah. I cannot think of a more delicious fate for those fuckers in London to basically knock all the legs out of basically the last semi-functional part of their economy, which is the financial sector, and then just completely bankrupt them so that all those little woke fuckers in London have left just to look around is basically to find out that they've been surrounded by, rapey Pakistanis, and that's all they have left. They've got no more. That would be great. I mean, I think that would be great. So
You have to call them the South Asian people.
rapey South Asians.
Yes, South
That's
Asian
right.
man.
But this is the point, though, is that the Online Safety Act, and that's the name of it, the Online Safety Act is not about censorship alone. It's a digital corporate tax.
Sure. They're
It
searching
is
for
a
anything they can. Yeah.
It is a revenue generating scheme so that they can stay afloat because they've had their legs cut out from under them, and so they need another way to generate revenue.
So you're right. Yeah. I was going to say,
what's a better way than literally telling people, oh, we don't like what you do, so we're going to force you to pay a fine every single day in order to be able to bring you into quote unquote compliance.
So you're right. I could totally see this, but I will say this all kind of had its genesis, like the current obsession with, England, France, the European Union, and to a lesser degree Brazil and Australia, but like a whole bunch of the G20s. The reason why they've gotten so obsessed, or at least a big catalyst for them being so obsessed with online censorship, was the fact that Donald Trump won in 2016, and all of the people that were going to be part of the Hillary Clinton State Department, they basically were like, oh shit, what do we do now? Well, they all started buying a lot of international plane tickets and visiting a lot of their global partners, and then they basically sold all this stuff to it was like, I think Mike Benz even has a term for this. It's like a triangulation strategy, but it's basically like,
listen, you're right. And I'm not taking that point away from you guys. It's just you have to think further than that. That's my whole point. Is that there's more to it.
You can profit from it.
And the point is that at the end of the day, yes, they're interested in the censorship, and mainly it's from the perspective of they want to control what their people are seeing. Because here's one of the things, one of the greatest things you can do. We're all talking about the great pedo land that is Roblox, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if all of a sudden people are using Roblox to talk to one another and share information.
Yep.
You create a world that is literally just a dead drop for intel. Oh, by the fucking way, this shit has happened before. You ever heard of Second Life?
What happened with
Yep.
Second Life?
It's been a hot minute since I've heard that, but yeah.
Yeah. Back in the early noughts, Second Life was used as a vehicle to get information to places where traditional communication wasn't as readily available. But Second Life, because it was headquartered in the US, but also was a digital platform that wasn't as heavily regulated as other communication vectors, people from across the world were able to utilize it to pass information from one another. And so there will literally be, I forget what they're called in Second Life off the top of my head, but there would be rooms basically on Second Life that would be set up as a fucking means of communicating information.
Yep. And robots.
You could
That's on IMVU.
you could dead drop fucking messages on a fucking wall in a room and be like, hey, this is happening here, this is going on, this is happening, you know, so on and so forth. And people could come in and see it. And it was completely outside of the normal means of communication. You couldn't wiretap it. You couldn't fucking shut down the cell network. You couldn't, you know, do this, that, or the other. You would have to take down the entire internet. You would just have to blanket kill the internet in order to prevent this communication.
So just basically another platform for running color revolutions and stuff.
You know, Warhound, I was just thinking about this. Isn't it possible for the feds to kill the internet?
No.
Not
It
really.
used to be.
No.
I didn't
not at all.
think so.
That would
I didn't
destroy
think
the
so. And then
that would destroy the
Yeah, but
global
I didn't-
economy instantly.
I
Well,
didn't think so. And the
I'm
next
just
time
going
I
to-
hear some asshole tell me about the internet kill switch, I'm just going to call him a fucking retard.
Well, no. Here's the point. Is I can create a closed network very easily. It's not hard because the infrastructure's still there. Like, they can't stop signals from going through. And, oh, by the way, ham radio, you can't stop ham radio from broadcasting.
Nope.
The only thing with ham radio that you need is a license.
No, you don't.
Okay,
Do you
Sure.
really need one?
sure. Okay, whatever. But the point is, oh, by the way, how can I talk to somebody across the fucking world using ham radio? I use text. Literally, I plug my radio up to a fucking up to a communications array, which, oh, by the way, a comm array capable of going across, say, from the U.S. to China, it maybe cost me about $300. Like, it's not a lot. I just need a really tall tree. And then I take said comm array, I plug said radio up into my computer, and then I run the fucking text through through software to then beam the fucking transmission off the fucking ionosphere over to fucking China, and then boom, dude on the other side just has to receive.
Well, aren't there like what do they call those guys? Those ham radio operators that actively look for people that are transmitting without licenses.
Oh. I just call them cucks. But okay, yeah, I don't know if there's an actual name for them. I just call them cucks.
There is an actual name for them. Well, a slang name for them, but yes. Yeah, it's...
Losers.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same kind of people that hide in mommy's basement.
It's the same kind of FUD that fucking bitches. Do you have a tax stamp? You have a tax stamp for that? Here's my tax stamp. Points fucking gun at them.
No, it's the same kind of people that demand a tax stamp for a double-barrel brick-action shotgun.
Damn.
Yep.
And yes, I've actually run into those fools.
Like, were they just random civilians that are demanding to see to see a tax stamp, or was this like law enforcement?
Oh, both of the creatures are around, but it's usually just. Ironically, it's usually old hunters that are lifelong NRA members.
Terrible.
Yep.
It's Grandpa Buck, or the eldest Uncle Buck, that wears a flannel jacket with the leather shoulder.
Ah, yes. Grandpa
No,
Buck
let me
and the Foot
put this.
Patrol.
Yeah, no, let me put it to you this way. Last time I went hunting, I was hunting with a 450 Bushmaster. By the way, a 450 Bushmaster, guess what platform it comes out of?
That's an
An
excellent.
AR-15.
Uh-huh.
AR-10. AR-10.
Yeah, it does come from a large frame, doesn't it?
350 Bushmaster comes out of an AR-15. But 450 Bushmaster, last time I was out hunting, I was utilizing a 450 Bushmaster. I had a guy call the game patrol on me for using an AR to hunt. Game warden fucking showed up, looked at me, he's like, "You're not supposed to be hunting with that." And I looked at him and laughed and fucking racked the fucking action and threw the fucking bullet at him. And then he saw it and then immediately went like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I got called out here for this."
As long as the magazine is pinned at 5 rounds, I think.
Not here in Ohio.
So,
Oh,
I was
that's
going to say, I don't know how it is in Ohio, but I do know in the state of Alabama, it's limited to 5 shots per rifle, 3 shots for a shotgun.
really?
same in Michigan.
For hunting?
Here? Yeah.
Yep, for hunting.
Why?
No. As long as you're utilizing the correct munition for hunting here in Ohio, if you are on private property, there are no magazine restrictions. The only reason why the game warden was allowed to come onto the property was because of the report that I was using necked cartridges. And then when he saw that I wasn't using necked cartridges, he was really fucking annoyed that he got called out there.
And then that you said no, you can't shoot it.
Huh?
And then he got even more annoyed because you said no, you can't shoot it.
Oh, I was actively waiting for. There was a. Fuck. What's a group of deer called again?
I usually call them a herd, but there actually is a name for them. I don't remember what it is.
Fuck. I'm gonna hate myself if I don't remember this. Hold on.
Hold on, I got
a
Google.
mob.
I'll look it up.
A bunch?
Well, what I do know is we went
A
way
wrangle?
off top.
Yes. We tend to do that.
Oh, it is called a herd.
It's a herd.
Yeah, it is a herd.
Oh, okay. Well, I stand half corrected.
Oh. Okay. So what I was trying to think of was parcel, which parcel refers to a group of young deer.
Oh.
Ah,
A parcel of deer. Interesting.
Oh, and bevy. That's the bevy. That's the word I was trying to think of. Was bevy. That's the word. So bevy and parcel. Those are the 2 words that I was trying to think of. But apparently, most commonly, it's called a herd. But yeah, bevy. But we got way off fucking topic there. How did we get there? I don't understand how we got there. We got there. Yeah, we fucking we took a
You
side
know how
quest.
it. You know how it goes, bro. Sometimes we get off into the weeds.
Yeah, we took a side quest on that one. Talking
hey, you're laughing.
about. Hey, dude. Honestly speaking, I'm kind of glad we got off Charlie a little bit.
Yeah, You were laughing for a little.
Yeah.
No, and here's the fucked up part. Here's the fucked up part is that, like, they do not understand how much we would rather be talking about anything fucking else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They killed the one guy that all of us can say something we don't like about the guy, but we didn't hate the guy.
Yeah. No
I
one.
didn't like his voice. I thought his voice was fucking annoying.
I couldn't listen to his podcasts because it was grating. The information was always good, but his voice was so grating I couldn't listen to it.
And
Man, I
and
would
yet
say
we're
make
all,
ballistic.
we're all sitting here, and we are pissed about him being killed.
Mhm.
And it's like, you touched the fucking boat, you retards.
Yep.
Like, we'd just rather be talking about fucking hell. I haven't even thought about the fact of what day it is, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
9/11.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, it was
Today's the
24
day.
years ago.
That's right.
Mhm.
today's the fucking day, everybody, and I haven't thought about it once.
I thought about it a little bit earlier today, but that was about it.
But that's the fucked up part about it, is that, like, we'd rather be talking about anything fucking else.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. I caught that yawn before it. I caught the mute button before the yawn. Bleh.
Nice.
I gotta hop off in a few minutes, just so I may leave without saying goodbye. So,
No worries.
All good, bud.
Well, it was good talking to you.
I was just gonna say it's good talking to you for the first time.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
You should come
pleasure.
in more
Hey,
often. We miss you.
yeah. Jero's one of the retards that I encountered by being a fan of Tom Luongo, the greatest retard of them all. So
yeah. So it's just really really sad because I didn't follow Charlie Kirk super closely, but he his whole shtick, from what I understand, was just like he was like, "Hey, we disagree, so let's talk it out." Like that was his entire shtick, and
That
he was apparently Yeah, that's. I mean, am I wrong? Is that his thing? Like
That
was
was
like,
mostly his thing.
yeah.
His
So
it
You
was,
know,
and
no,
then
Jero, you missed what I said earlier. They basically what they did was they pulled an ATF shot our puppy.
Mhm.
yeah, they broke in, set fire to the house, and shot the dog.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just yeah. I mean, personally, with me though, I never quite got into him. I don't know if it was his voice or just the fact that part of it was like he seemed to focus so much on college campuses, and I'm like, if I have to listen to Charlie Kirk, then I have to listen to a bunch of fucking purple-haired retards like argue with him, which is like so like who has the stamina for that? And God bless him for like doing that, but like I could not so I just didn't follow him that closely, which is again.
He was great.
You know what?
5 minutes.
Talking about
Yeah.
a while, but you couldn't listen to him constantly because he was dealing with the brainwashed.
Yeah.
He was a deprogrammer.
I was just thinking about this.
Yep,
You guys talking
it
about
was
the
painful.
purple-haired freaks on colleges. About the only place I haven't seen that is at the University of Alabama. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they got a few of them there, but most of the folks that I seen running around that college campus were just normal-looking folks.
Makes sense.
Grand Canyon State University is a decent one, and then there's one up in Michigan. It's actually like within 30 minutes of me or something like that, and I can't remember the name of it. What's that guy's name? Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. I'm thinking Purdue, and it obviously is not. Another big Christian name in the podcasting world. He had a nasty fall and broke a whole bunch of bones.
Are you talking about?
You're not talking about Hillsdale?
Yes, Hillsdale.
Yeah, Hillsdale is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 40 minutes away from me. I've taken classes from there. Oh, we lost somebody. Who? Oh, that's who we lost. But yeah, they dropped the sweet kid from down the street that you would pat on the head whenever you saw him.
Yes. He may have basically.
Yeah, going back to what I said yesterday, they tried to get Trump twice. They couldn't.
Yep.
And thus Charlie was an easy target.
Yep. And a friend.
It was right up there in the face of the demon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I sound like some crazy, cringy boomer Christian. Call them fucking demons.
They are.
Some of them, I honestly wonder if they are truly possessed. I really do wonder that.
Some of them definitely are.
Subhuman. Use that term. Subhuman.
Oh, well, tomato.
No, because you denigrate their humanity, it makes them lose their shit even harder.
Well, demons aren't human either, so.
True.
No. They love being called demons. They think it's a fucking joke. They think it's a fucking meme.
Yeah,
it's
just
some
pudgy teenage.
But if you call them subhuman and you treat them like subhumans, all of a sudden it makes them fucking very, very uncomfortable.
Yep.
All of a sudden, they're sitting there like, why are you treating me like this? Why am I being treated so badly? Like, it makes them uncomfortable.
Why are you
Bruce
treating?
Well,
you're right. Because they constantly want to be validated.
Why are you treating me like I treat you?
You force them to look in the mirror by treating them exactly how they act.
Yes.
And then they're going to spiral because then they're not getting the validation that they crave. And then all of a sudden, they're going to try to do something. And then we smack them back down.
Mm-hmm.
Call them subhuman filth.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question that I have that I probably should have asked earlier, but I think needs to be asked. Do you think Charlie will be the last, or is he only the first?
He's only the first.
I am very fearful that he is the first.
As I said, the end of the beginning.
Yeah.
Well,
the end
it says that. Well,
this was the salient. Listen, this was the salient moment. This was the opening shot. Now that they've gotten their taste for blood, they're going to think they can do it again without any reprisal. We're giving them the soft reprisal now. Getting them fired from their job, getting them kicked out of their house, forcing them into destitution
well, they did
and
that to us for
poverty.
years.
Babe, shut up and listen.
No, I don't listen to men.
You force them into as uncomfortable and as much of a uncomfortable position as possible. And then when they do it again, and then again, and then again, eventually by the third or fourth, that's when we start hitting them. Once we create the conditions where they have nothing else to lose, that's when they'll go ballistic. That's when they'll lose their shit. And then they become open fucking season. As I said, they don't get another option. Either lay down and die or leave the nation. We're not going to spill blood on our glory. Your subhuman, filthy, corrupted fucking bile on this glorious land of ours. You either shut up, lay down in the dirt, and wither away, or leave. That's it.
Warhead, as I was trying to say earlier, I was talking to Mel's stepmother earlier today, and I told her that as long as that assassin's still out there, they may strike again.
Oh no, that dude gets caught, they're gonna treat him like Luigi Mangione.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be.
But didn't Trump sign an executive order mandating they get the death penalty?
They're gonna martyr him. They're gonna martyr him so hard.
Yeah.
Utah has the death penalty.
They're going to sing that guy's praises for the rest of his wretched existence. You don't understand, Stoner. You better start believing in ghost stories. You're in one.
Don't you mean Tom Clancy novels? You best start believing in Tom Clancy novels. You're in one. I actually got that meme somewhere.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. But no, the point is that they're going to strike again. They're going to kill again. All we have to do is be prepared for it and keep ratcheting up the pressure, because we get them to lose their shit first. If they're all broken, destitute, and have nothing left to lose, they're going to lash out. Calm, cold, calculated, shoot them in the face.
Yes.
The Reddington treatment.
Yeah. Quick question: do you need to call in, do a check-in? Because it's been a while since we heard you do something like that.
I muted myself when I did my last one.
Oh,
Okay.
I still got half an hour.
And thought of it.
honestly, I think that's a good place to leave things off.